Good morning. It is 10 o'clock on, 9:59 on Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. I am calling this meeting of the License and Variance Board to order. I am Eric Randall. I'm the Public Works Director. To my left is Mary Moore, our Library Director. And to her left is Eric Moorman, Deputy Fire Chief. And together we are the License and Variance Board. And I am drawing a blank. First item on formal business is Variance V25-095, allow a secondary accessory structure in land lot 562 at 1413 Belmont Ave. Chris Adler is the applicant. I understand this item is to be tabled to the November 12th meeting to resolve some application issues.
Make a motion to table variance request V25-095, allow second accessory structure land lot 562, 1413 Belmont Avenue, Chris Agrell applicant.
I second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Please vote.
Good.
And the motion passes 3-0. Item B, variance request V25-092 to reduce the front setback from 35 feet to 28.4 feet. Land lot 704, 2098 Dundee Drive, Harold Shoemaker, applicant. Ms. Crowe, the background, please.
I'm just going to move this. All right. Good morning. Caitlin Crowe, Land Development Services Coordinator for Community Development. So as you just read out, this is V25-092 to reduce that front setback from 35 feet to 28.4 feet. So the subject property is a 0.3 acre lot. Sorry, just went out there. Located on the south side of Dundee Drive. So the existing home is roughly 1,800 square feet currently. Applicant is looking to add roughly 1,000 feet for an addition, as well as a carport to the northwest side of. The addition will consist of a new master suite. There will be a new laundry room as well as a powder room. And the one-car carport will be erected over the existing driveway off of Dundee Drive. The existing home, as well as the recorded plat, was done back in 1959, which is prior to our current zoning ordinance of 1974. The original plat called for a 30-foot setback in the front yard, whereas our current ordinance does require 35 feet. We do require that the more restrictive ordinance is the one that governs the lot. Thus, it is a 35-foot front setback for this property. Thus, that carport that's going to be encroaching to the front setback, instead of a little over 1 foot, will be a 6.6-foot encroachment, just due to the plat, again, from 1959. The subject property is kind of a pie shape, so really the only areas to build onto this without going into the front setback is in the rear yard. They are trying to keep the home in line the carport in line with the existing home, but due to the curvature of the road, that's where the setback encroachment is occurring. Again, it's just in one corner for that carport. The house is a little, like I said, over 1,800 square feet. With the addition, it will also bring it in line with the R15 minimum house size requirement of 2,000 square feet. So although we are requiring the front setback variance, we are bringing it in line with an additional R15 requirement. Additionally, the same variance was actually approved back in 2023 down the road at 2009 Glenroy Drive. So this type of variance, there's a precedence for it in the immediate neighborhood. So after reviewing the application, staff is supportive of the request and does recommend your approval with just the standard condition. Approval of the requested variance is conditioned upon substantial compliance with the site plan and elevations submitted with the variance application. And with that, I can answer any questions.
Nope. Is the applicant or the representative?
Yeah, thank you.
Please step to the podium and speak clearly into the microphone with your name for the record.
Great. Harold Shoemaker.
You've heard the background that Ms. Crowe provided. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Nothing. She did a great job as always.
And do you understand and agree to the stipulations?
I do. Great,
All right.
thank you.
Any questions? This is a public hearing. If there's anyone who'd like to speak for or against this variance request, please step to the microphone and do so at this time. Seeing none, we will entertain a motion for this item.
Make a motion to approve V 25-092, reduce the front setback from 35 feet to 28.4 feet, land lot 704, 2098 Dundee Drive, Harold Schumacher applicant.
Second the motion.
That motion passes 3-0. Item C is a variance request V 25-093 to increase the maximum impervious surface area from 35% to 39.3%, land lot 409 at 1130 Queensgate Drive. Matt Orlando, applicant.
All right, thank you. It's Caitlin Crowe, Community Development again. So as you just read out, we have V 25-093 to increase the impervious surface area from 35% to 39.3%. This is a 0.23 acre lot located in the King Valley at Vining subdivision, and there is a 15-foot drainage easement that does bisect the rear yard directly behind the existing home and the existing deck. So the applicant is proposing to completely replace the existing deck as well as increase it slightly by roughly 60 square feet to put in a new screen porch. The property is actually already over the allowable impervious surface area due to a concrete pad that was put behind the home sometime between 2009 and 2016. Unfortunately, we don't have an aerial between that time, but it does put it over currently by 3.7%. Now that they are not only expanding the condition by expanding the porch, but they are also screening it in, which is, again, expanding upon the condition, they are required to bring it up to code, which is where the variance comes in. So after this deck addition, the impervious surface area will increase by 4.3%, or roughly 435 square feet. To offset this increase, the applicant is adding a rain garden in the front of the home. Our engineering department has reviewed this application and is supportive of this mitigation method for the property. Community Development believes that this is the minimum variance needed since the existing home is already over that impervious surface area. After reviewing the variance application, supportive of the request and does recommend your approval with the following 3 stipulations. The first is our standard. Approval of the requested variance is conditioned upon substantial compliance with the mitigation plan submitted with the variance application. Number 2 is strictly about the rain garden. A stormwater inspection and maintenance agreement shall be completed and recorded with the Cobb County Superior Court prior to issuance of the building permit. And number 3 is also related to the rain garden. A stormwater as-built certification statement shall be submitted to Community Development for approval prior to issuance of the certificate of completion. And with that, I can answer any questions.
What is the nature of the 15-foot drainage?
That I do not know, but I do have Clara Hodges with me from the engineering department. She may be able to answer that for you. For the floor.
And please state your name for the record.
Hi, Clara Hodges with the engineering department. It is a pipe. Yes.
And the compensatory rain garden, is it sized for the area that is the variance is requesting, or is it sized for the impervious area that flows to the location?
It is size slightly larger than what is required based on the roof area that is flowing to it to account for any potential surface flow that might also reach the rain garden. Thank you.
Is the applicant or the representative present? Yeah. Please approach the podium and speak clearly into the microphone with your name for the record.
Joseph Minahan. I'm the homeowner.
You're the homeowner, gotcha.
Yes, sir.
You've heard the background that Ms. Crowe provided. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, sir.
And do you understand and agree to the stipulations that Ms. Crowe?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you.
This is a public hearing. If there's anyone here who would like to speak for or against this variance request, please step to the microphone and do so at this time. Seeing none, we will entertain a motion for this item.
Make a motion to approve variance request V 25093, increase the maximum impervious surface area from 35% to 39.3%, land lot 406, 1130 Queensgate Drive, Matt Orlando applicant.
I second the motion.
That motion passes 3-0. Item D is variance request V 25-094. Reduce the side setback from 10 feet to 7.8 feet in land lot 701 at 3195 Howell Drive. Michael Platsta, and if I pronounce your name wrong, I apologize. Applicant, throw the background, please.
You guys are more than welcome to stay or head out if you want to. All right. Again, Caitlin Crowe, Community Development. So this one is V25-094, just so we can make sure we repeat it here, is to reduce the side setback from 10 feet to 7.8 feet. So this subject parcel is 0.36 acre lot located right at the intersection of Nancy Circle and Howell Drive. So a building permit application was submitted back in February of this year to add a cover over the existing deck. During the plan review at that time, it was discovered that there was an accessory structure that was built by the previous homeowner that was unpermitted on the property. We did allow for that building permit to be issued, just with the stipulation that the building permit must be completed for the accessory structure prior to certificate of completion. Then when the accessory structure application was submitted, it was discovered that it also needed a variance for a side setback reduction, which is where we are today. So the existing home sits catty corner on the lot. It does kind of have an expansive front yard and a very small backyard. The home itself is pushed quite far to the rear, so the accessory structure, without kind of imposing into the front or sides in another way, was put in its existing location. The applicant is now looking to retain that accessory structure, which is roughly 288 square feet in the current position without having any movement. It is currently on a concrete slab. Placing it behind the home, again, was the most logical location just due to the lot. And there's an existing 6-foot wooden privacy fence as well that shields it mostly from view of the right-of-way and from the adjacent neighbor. I would like to note that there is a portable shed that is directly behind this accessory structure. It's one of those that you might get at Lowe's or Home Depot or such, and it is directly next door. It does go much further into the side setback, roughly about 1.6 feet from the side property line. However, the chief building official has determined that since it is portable, we are not going to count it as part of the permanent side setback reduction, and that if it can remain as it is now, but if it's ever needing to be replaced due to age or wear, that it cannot remain in that location due to the distance to the side setback, and that is actually for fire retardant standards there. So other than that, there are no other variances that are needed to allow for this accessory structure to remain in the same location. After a review of the application, staff does support the request and does recommend your approval with the following 2 stipulations. The first is our standard. Approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon substantial compliance with the site plan submitted with the variance application. And number 2, if the portable shed is ever replaced or moved, it must meet all setback requirements. And I can answer any questions.
Has there been any discussion or opposition from the neighbor adjacent to that?
No, the neighbor was notified as part of the variance application, as is required for all variances. Staff has not heard from the neighbor, whether positive or negative on this case. Okay, thank you.
Applicant or the representative present? microphone and clearly state your name for the record.
Michael Plachta, homeowner. Yeah, like Klokta, but Plachta.
Got it. You've heard the background Ms. Crowe provided. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Nope, she got it all.
And do you understand and agree to the stipulations as presented?
Yep. Thanks. Thank you.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here who would like to speak for or against the variance request? Please step to the microphone and do so at this time. And seeing no one, we will entertain a motion on this item.
Make a motion to approve variance request V25094, reduce the side setback from 10 feet to 7.8 feet, land lot 701, 3195 Howell Drive, Michael Plachta, applicant.
Second the motion.
Please vote. And the motion passes with a vote of 3-0. Last item, 5A, is approval of the minutes from September 24th, 2025 License and Variance Board meeting. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Motion passes 3-0. Is there any other business to be brought before this board? With that, at 10:16,